And how did you even get the staff like right away? Because it seemed like it was like it just happened overnight.
Pretty much, but like I said, the vision was always in my mind.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Story Behind the CEO podcast. And today we have a great treat for you. We have the owner of Mr. Apple, that is at 201 North Peters in the French Quarter. They specialize in dipping apples, making all kind of specialized apples, and many other treats. This is Tim. Tim, tell them how to find you on social media.
Well, you can find us at Mr. Apple, that is MISTERAPPLE 504 at Instagram, and Mr. Apple Nola, MISTERAPPLE NOLA at Facebook.
There you go. All right, so before we get started, I have a very personal question for you, and I just need you to answer because the people want to know.
Okay.
Pralines or pralines?
I got one even better. Growing up, it was pecan candy. So
definitely was pecan candy my whole life. I never said that till I got older. Pralines or pralines?
We tell a story at Mr. Apple most every day when they come in the door, and we say, well, it's a little bit, it's pecan candy. That's what we used to do at the people who would sell it on at the house.
Just taught y'all a nice little lesson today. So how did Mr. Apple become Mr. Apple? Tell us about that.
Well, it all started, I was selling apples at 610 in Religion Fields, and well, let me step back. Well, I was selling fruit at 610 in Religion Fields.
So Mr. Apple was almost just Mr. Fruit Truck?
Well, no, I wouldn't call it a fruit truck. There's the same location. And I was at the location, whereas the people would come to me instead of me going to the people. The people would stop at the red light and we would walk. Naturally, we started all pretty much the people that's on the Nutri-Grounds and everything. That was way back then.
Nutri-Ground is a sidewalk for those people who are not from here.
Yes,
Nutri-Ground is a sidewalk.
That's a Nola thing.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. So we were selling that, and it was getting winter, and a lot of people wouldn't roll down their window, and I really thought about it, and I prayed on it. I needed a product to sell to the people who did that. And just one day at the red light, a guy stopped at the red light and said, "Here, man, try this out." And it was 2 red candy apples. And I thought, this is it, because growing up, going to parades and everything, the main thing that I would go to the parades for was getting a red candy apple. So it just triggered the thing like, yeah, all right. So I tasted it, and it was real good. Okay, and he said he would come back the next day. I said, okay, man. So let's do it. So he gave me like 50 to sell. We worked out a deal, and I think within 2 hours I was out.
So you were selling the apple candies for him, for the guy?
No. Well, he was supplying me.
He was supplying you. Okay.
Wholesaling.
Okay, gotcha.
He would do that, and when that happened, I'm like, oh, we're on to something. But really, what triggered it, that I knew I was on to something, was that this lady would come from Baton Rouge, and sometimes she would come, and I would be out, and she was like, "I gotta come early." And
be serious about our stuff, boy.
And from that, it was just like, well, it's on to something. Definitely need to have an Apple store with that. So that's how the vision of Mr. Apple came about.
So you didn't say, oh, I need to you just went literally from selling at the red light to, oh, I need a store, let's go get a store.
Well, no, it didn't happen like that. Maybe in my mind it did, but I wanted it to happen like that, but it did not happen like that. So, so he started supplying me, and he was doing this as a side hustle. He didn't think he was working for energy or something like that. And one Mardi Gras, that was definitely a big thing, selling apples, Mardi Gras. and he was supposed to supply me with the apples, but he couldn't do it because he had his own people to supply and everything. So from there, it was like I can't depend on him. So I started about it on and just more or less did research on it and started making my own apples. And I was from there, and that's how it started me making my own apples from that there.
And so then you never wholesale from the guy again. After that, it was literally just you.
Just me, yes.
So what was the journey? Take me through the journey from off the street to the very first shop. Because the shop that you're at now, that's not your first shop, correct?
Well, yes, that is the first.
That's your first shop?
Yes, we expanded on magazine at one time. Yes.
Oh, okay.
But this is the shop that we've been in there for 14 years since 2007.
Stability. So what was the journey getting to that shop?
Okay, wow. Okay, getting to that shop there. So it was like always in my mind and everything to get a shop. So it was just getting the location, the right location. And it took a few years and everything. So, but it was always in my mind that I wanted the shop. So it was a matter of just acquiring the money. So. So after Katrina, this was before Katrina. Katrina, I got into poker. So my first thing was that I won my first poker tournament.
And how much you made from that?
That was $30,000.
Jesus, I need to be playing poker. I'm doing the wrong thing over here.
And from that, I knew, hey, it was on from there.
It's on from there.
But now, a good coincidence was before that, how things really work. The current location that we're at right now, they had a police sign. Now, before I did have the money, I went there and just checked it out, not knowing, and about, I would say a month or two, and that's when I won it, and I went back to him again. And he said, if you got the money, let's do it. And that's where we are right now. So that's how the store at 201 North Peter started.
This episode is sponsored by the one and only CrownMeCollections.com. Kingdom rises and overcomes world negativity to embrace destiny. If that's the brand you can stand behind, then shop with us. www.crownmecollections.com or visit our Instagram page and click the link in the bio at CrownMeCollections LLC. And so, did you just automatically, did you already have the name Mr. Apple, or did you have to come up with that? And how did you even get the staff like right away? Because it seemed like it just happened overnight.
Pretty much, but like I said, the vision was always in my mind to do it. So how the name came about, so once I did won a tournament, I would tell my buddies that I'm going to open up a candy store. And one of the guys just started calling me Mr. Apple. And it clicked. There it is, Mr. Apple, and right there. That's how the name came about. One of my buddies called me Mr. Apple, and I said, that's the perfect name.
So when you started off, did you think that you were just going to be making red candy apples, or you knew you were going to be making like different themed candy apples too?
Well, I definitely knew I was going to make different themed candy apples, but the red apples was just the ones that really started, inspired everything.
Of course. So, and how did the other treats come about? Was that just saying, okay, I know I can't just sell only apples, let me come up with a whole menu? Like, did you do all of that yourself, or was that something that happened just kind of as you went along?
Well, it was a combination of both. Just more or less taking, Googling things and just really researching it and seeing what apples was really hot at the time. So we did that, and then just really, like I said, researching it with that. And that's how the menu expanded.
And how did you market when you first got to your location? Because, again, you went from being, so did the people that were buying from you on the street, they knew that you had the shop now?
No, not really, because I think at that time I wasn't working on the corner for probably a good little while right there. So, well, going back to saying location. So my location, the main thing was the location for me, in the French Quarters, and we was right next door to the where they had the office building. So the traffic was real good there. So that was the thing with that. But the main thing was, like, before the store was even started, I had my website. The website was up and about before everything, before the store. I opened up my first thing. So that was it right there.
Okay, so so you do ship, right?
Yes, we do, throughout the United States.
Throughout the United States. So you had the website, but what else did you do to actually market so people knew where to come? Or was it because of the location, it was just like automatic traffic?
Well, the first thing was the automatic traffic, like I said, with the website, then getting listed on Google with Yelp, and getting listed on an online directories. That was really the main thing.
So can you like briefly talk somebody through how to list their business on Google if they hadn't done that yet?
Well, I would definitely get registered with Google My Business. That's what it's called right now, Google My Business. That's a very important spot to have when you have a brick and mortar.
And do they have to pay for that?
No, that is completely free.
All it takes is your fingers.
That and Yelp, TripAdvisor is real good. And right now, they got a lot of local directories right now.
What's one of the local directories?
I think it's Nola, specifically Nola.com, I think, one of those there.
Okay, so they can go on any one of those and list their business, and that way when people Google them, it's I guess like triggers the algorithm thing, and their business will kind of pop up.
Well, yes. Now, in fact, I think that was really got Mr. Apple known worldwide. You know, said it was location, but getting on the directories, right? People will come, because people are right now in this time, they're on their cell phone, and when they get into a certain city, they looking for what are the best places to go?
The best places to eat and stuff like that.
TripAdvisor, and that's what really brought Mr. Apple, you know why? Because a main thing, one of the best keywords right now, called SEO, search engine optimization, is dessert shops, and that's what they come in for. That's what they Google, dessert shops, and I think we're ranked number 1 locally in that area. And
well, that's amazing.
Based upon in the directories.
So who taught you about that, or was that something you just kind of picked up as you went along?
Well, like before we started it, one of my hangouts was coffee shops and Barnes and Noble. That's what I used to hang out. I
Oh,
did a lot
really?
of reading,
Okay.
with that. So that was it right there. Barnes and Nobles and the coffee shops.
And so that's where you would do your research, your reading, and you picked up on those things.
Yes, and like the colors of Mr. Apple was done with the research, like the red, the yellow, and the orange. These are colors that really inspired people to buy stuff and to get them to buy.
You might be right, because when I walked into the Apple shop, I spent a whole lot of money, and I was literally coming to drop something off. And everybody, I'm like, okay, y'all want this? Y'all want to get one of these? But I would definitely advise y'all when y'all come to take a trip down here, or if you have family down here, or if you live here, to definitely stop at the Apple shop. Everybody is super friendly, super nice, and the food is really good. Like you're not gonna be disappointed at all. So does everybody in your shop know how to make everything, or do you have specific people for specific things?
Well, they start off not knowing how to make everything, but eventually, yes, they learn how to make everything.
And so, but when you hire them, that's not a requirement.
No, it's not.
So do you often have people that come in, because doing treats is kind of a thing right now for other people, like with side hustles and all. So do you often hire people that then want to just kind of learn what you got going on and how to do it, and then try to branch off and do their own thing?
No, we really don't. I think we might have had one person, but that would probably be one of the ideal people to hire that really want to be.
So you want to hire the people that wants to do it as a side hustle?
Yes, that would be the ideal person. person.
So you wouldn't think that that person would come in and try to take your business? Not that they can, but that they wouldn't try to?
Yes.
You wouldn't?
That would be inspiring because a little.
Tell me about it, Tim. Tell me about it.
A little. I mean, that is the best form of flattery, huh? That's right there, and we live in an infinite universe. So there is no such thing as a shortage of supplies.
Tim said, I'm not scared of none of y'all. Y'all can't take these coins. Mr. Apple is still gonna be ranked number 1. He ain't worrying about it. So if you need if you trying to get into making apples as a side hustle, go get a job at Mr. Apple, because he's gonna train you and teach you, and you still not gonna be able to take his customers. I ain't mad at you, because I'll be quite pissed. I don't think I'm there yet. I don't think I'm at that point. But that's a great quality to have.
Now, people have tried. For instance, I'm not just saying, but
shady.
I mean, the people right next to me, I think the store had been probably 5 things in the last 6 years, and so people, and it all has.
So they try to come right next to you, open up the same thing?
No, but similar, more or less like desserts, ice cream.
Tell them don't play with you. Mr. Apple ain't going nowhere.
No, I mean, they don't know that. I mean, they find out about that, but they don't know that yet. And it's not really about that. I mean, it's, like I said, we live in an infinite universe, and it's all good.
Oh my God. Okay, so you said at one point you had a second location, correct?
Yes.
So how long did you have that location, and why you don't have that no more?
Well, that was for 2 years with that. I just think, well, we expanded on Magazine Street, and Magazine is a real good street to be on, but there's certain sections of Magazine with that. I just think we wasn't on the perfect section of Magazine.
Okay, so you just felt like it was just a better move to say, let's not go that route. Yes. We'll be quote unquote losing money rather than making the money.
And yes, then we had the perfect opportunity. We had to change different landlords, and that was our option to get out or to sign a new lease. So
that was great for y'all.
Yes, it did.
Okay, so if somebody else, I mean, we know on the non-shady side, so if somebody else is trying to get into your lane and do what you're doing, what advice would you give them? Something that somebody probably could have gave you that would have saved you a lot of heartache and headache along the journey.
Well, I think the number one thing is to believe in yourself and don't quit, no matter what. Don't quit. If you have the vision, to stick it out with that. I mean, it's all about learning experience, and just because we think we failed, it's really not a fail, it's just a lesson to be learned with that. So for all the people who are aspiring to be business owners, or just going after your dream, don't give up. No matter how hard it may be, keep trying.
Yeah.
And believe in yourself. When nobody else believes in yourself, believe in yourself.
So let's take it back. So when you say believe in yourself, because you went from selling candy apples on the side of the road to the shop, did you ever think in your mind that, I know you said the vision was always there, so in your mind, was it that no matter what it takes, I'm going to get to where I need to be, even if it starts with selling the product on the side of the road?
Well, before that, I mean, I had a couple of businesses before that, and at that time, I was in the Nation of Islam. I was a FOI at that time, and we would sell the final calls on the side of the streets. And the brothers before me, a lot of brothers was sell the fruit at the red lights and everything. So, and at that time, all right, so hey, I think that would be a good idea with that. So, and then if you would definitely see, we employed a lot of people. I employed a lot of people too. So, and brothers was making back then about $10 an hour, even more. So, you know, it's really what you think. Now, people would come up to me at the red light and get a job, and my thoughts would be, "You the one that's going to the job, brother. I already have one." That would be in my mind. So,
right.
So that would be it.
So, what's some of the hardest things you had to overcome with going into your building?
Well, the hardest thing would be is just really um, who helped me out was my cousin Mike, and Mike was a culinary chef.
Mm-hmm.
So he dealt with the chocolates and
Shout
everything
out to Mike.
with that. So and he helped me out. So and he just more or less inspired me to really get into the chocolate aspect of it
Mm-hmm.
with it. So with that, and just it was just him and I. The first 6 months, him and I just was going at it with the shop.
So at any point did you feel overwhelmed, like with the amount of traffic and it's only two of y'all in there? Or were you more focused on, I have to master X, Y, and Z? It doesn't matter.
Pretty much mastering X, Y, and Z, and it didn't matter at that time.
And so where's Mike now? He's still working at the shop? Or he just...
No, Mike is doing some other things right now.
So he just came in basically to help you get everything started.
To get everything started, yes, he did.
And then, so after that, then you started to get the staff rolling in.
Yes.
Okay, and then that's why you said, so everything you learned from Mike, or from, I guess you were self-taught?
Pretty much, yes. Pretty much self-taught. It's everything by trial and error.
That's pretty cool. And so then you just turn around and show everything you learned to your staff, and then...
Yes, I mean, like by trying error and doing a lot of research, you know, definitely, like I said, hanging out at Barnes and Noble and reading a lot about making apples, dealing with chocolate and everything. So it's just really self-taught.
I mean, that's just to me, that's a different level. Like you said, just even going into reading about it, some people, they jump right into things like, oh, I see this person doing it. It can't be that hard. And I think nobody really sets out to do like the full research of the project that they're trying to master. So I think that's pretty dope. But do you ever stop learning?
No, I think that's just one of the lessons in life. Life is about continuing to learn right now. You know, continually.
So what's next for Mr. Apple?
The sky's the limits right now. Right there. So I mean, really, in this time and age is really online right now.
Online.
That's what it is. Really online. Brick and mortar is still there, but I think the growth and everything is online right now.
So go ahead and give them the website again, just in case they want to shop online and get their treat shipped to their home.
It's MrApple.net, and it's spelled MisterApple.net.
And can you let them know at least 5 things that you guys sell in the shop?
All right. First, we sell the original. It's called the red apple. That's one of the ones that you would find at fairs and everything. You don't find it too often with that. So that's really that. Then we sell. I call it pralines.
Pecan candy.
Really good with that. That's a good one. We sell it the regular one, and we sell it in an apple. We sell it in a brownie. So and and we sell also with the rum one. So if you do like some alcohol, we definitely do have that there. Also, so we sell a variety of apples. We have the Butterfinger apple, we have the cheesecake apples.
Ooh, tell me.
Now, my favorite is called the Deluxe Monster, and that's the more or less a turtle on an apple, dipped in caramel, rolled in pecans, and dipped in dark chocolate. There. And we also sell popcorn. We make popcorn at the shop. We sell desserts. We have Bluebell, and we also a New Orleans thing with that. Seasonal. We sell snowballs. So we definitely have pretty diverse.
Can't go wrong with that. And so, do you guys also cater?
Actually, yes. If you would like to for a special event, yes, you can definitely give us a call. Our number is 504-524-0601, and you can go on our website also.
And so it doesn't matter what the event is, but you can cater the whole table, the whole little treat table that they do.
Yes, we can do that.
So make sure you guys hit him up. So for any events it's really like a one-stop shop. You can't go wrong. It's a one-stop shop. So one more thing, Tim, before you go again, and I think you gave some good some good words of wisdom, but what's one more thing that you would tell somebody who's probably really wanting to get into entrepreneurship, but they're really feeling discouraged because they don't have that support, like at home or around them at all?
I would definitely say, we're pretty, do the research, learn. You know, like some people might not want to work for some other person, but however, you have to start. You gotta take the first step, and the first step is working for somebody and learning how it is run. That's a good thing. So it's just really taking the first step. It's really almost the hardest part to becoming what you want to become in life.
Taking the first step. So just take the first step and start where you at.
Yes.
All right, so we can't do it no better than that. Thank you so much, Tim, for coming out. And thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode of The Story Behind the CEO Podcast.